Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We are reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 9, entitled The Desire Tree of Devotional Service, text 18. Visha Visha Shakakari Eka Eka Mandala
Visha Visha Shakakari Eka Mandala
Maha Maha Shaka Chaila Brahmananda Sakala
Maha Shaka Chaya Brahmananda Sakala.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, the branches of the Caitanya tree form a cluster of society with great branches covering all the universe. Purport. Our International Society for Krishna Consciousness is one of the branches of the Caitanya tree. Hare Krishna. I'm very honored to be with all of you today in Paris ISKCON Center. So we can see that in this verse it is explained that there are many branches of the tree of Lord Chaitanya and formed a cluster of society with great branches covering all the universe. And Prabhupada explains that one of these branches of this gigantic tree of Lord Chaitanya is also International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It is explained also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahmande Brahmita Kona Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasadic by Bhakti-Lata Bija. That the conditioned soul, which is very fortunate, Jai Shri Shri Gurnitai Shri Radha Paritishvara Ki Jai, is wandering throughout the universe, up and down. And when it's very fortunate, meets a guru, bona fide guru, and by Krishna's mercy, in fact, meets a guru and gets the opportunity to begin devotional service. Gets a Bhakti-Lata Bija, the seed of devotional service in the heart. And we are so fortunate that we are born in this time of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, in fact, is a Kalar Dosha Nidarajan Astihyeko Mahanguna. It is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam as the ocean of faults, unlimited ocean of faults. But there is one great quality of this Kali Yuga. Kirtanat eva Krishnasya mukta sanghah param rajit. That just by chanting the holy name, we can achieve the highest perfection. And it's not just chanting of the holy name. In this Kali Yuga, particular Kali Yuga we live in, Lord Chaitanya, the avatari, Krishna himself, descended to this world. And this happens only once in the day of Brahma. And we know from Shastra that the day of Brahma is 640 million years 320 million years long, and the night is of the same duration. That means in 8 billion 640 million years, once in all this time, Lord Chaitanya comes. And in every Kali Yuga comes Lord Chaitanya, but not the original one. And in every Kali Yuga, we get the opportunity to chant the holy name, because chanting of the holy name is the Yuga-dharma for Kali Yuga. But only in this Kali Yuga, after so many billions of years, we can have an opportunity to directly serve Radha and Krishna, to achieve prema bhakti of the residents of Vrindavan. And this is not available in other Kali Yugas. So we should understand how fortunate we are. This is not some just little fortune or great fortune, but it's unlimited fortune. We should understand this. Unfortunately, I cannot say for myself that I can understand. If I would understand, I would just cry all the time. Yes, because in fact, Lord Chaitanya appeared just 500 years ago, and actually we are part of Lord Chaitanya's Leela. Prabhupada's movement is one of the branches of Lord Chaitanya tree, and it is meant to spread these fruits that Lord Chaitanya had grown. So we are in fact helping Lord Chaitanya to spread these fruits of love of God. And tomorrow's festival of Ratha Yatra is very instrumental for this purpose. Yes, because Lord stays in the temple and everyone can visit him, but not many people are visiting the temple, as we can see today's attendance here. But Lord is so merciful that even though just a few people come to visit him, he goes out and visits all the people. So we'll see this Lord's mercy tomorrow, when he'll go out and visit the people of Paris. Yes. So actually, by Lord's mercy, Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we can enter pure devotional service, and so we should understand and appreciate this pure devotional service, because there are many different religious groups in this world, which may originally be propagating some kind of pure devotional service, unconditional service. But as Prabhupada said, there are enough of others who don't preach pure devotional service. But we should be focused only in pure devotional service, not anything else. Because what we can gain from impure devotional service, some mixed devotional service, what we can get? Nothing really. We can become a little more pious, but we cannot develop love for Krishna by mixed devotional service. And it is explained in Shastras, that we are Anandamayo Vyasat. We all want to be happy, basically. And that was the question of the sages of Naimisharanya to Sutta Goswami. They asked him, Burini buri karmani shrotavyani vibhagasha, adaksadotrayat saram samudritamyanishya, bruhi badraya bhutanam yanatma suprasidati. You have studied many, many shastras, in which there are many different processes how to attain some perfection, and processes and rituals described and dharmas. You have studied everything. Please tell us what is the essence of everything. Just in previous verse, they described that life in Kali Yuga is very short, and everyone is very disturbed and so on. So there is no time to go through all these processes of the Vedas. Please tell us what is the essence by which one can become suprasidati. Prasidati means happy, and suprasidati means completely happy, perfectly happy. So please explain us how to achieve this perfect happiness. Because we want to be perfectly happy. We can see everyone wants to be happy. Even an ant goes to some sugar because wants to be happy. I also love sugar. But what I want to explain, Sutta Goswami explained in the next chapter of Bhagavatam. This is just the beginning, second chapter of first canto. And he said, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktira dokshache ahaituka pratihata yayatma suprasidati. And he uses this same word, suprasidati. How to become suprasidati. And it is explained that only by ahaituki bhakti. Bhakti means, of course, devotional service. Love. Actually, it's love. And it should be ahetuki, unconditional love. And it should be apratihata, not interrupted. And it should be directed to adokshaja, the personality of Godhead who is beyond our sense perception. Who is beyond our sense perception. Because only He is absolute. Only He is completely perfect. Because if even in this world we can see that only some relationship can make us happy. We cannot be happy without relationship. We can have everything in this world. We can be multi-millionaire. And we can go wherever we want. But if there is no one who loves us, and there is no one we can love, it's just miserable life. And that's why many wealthy people, they commit suicide. Because they don't love anyone. And they don't trust anyone that they really love them. Because they are wealthy, and many people declare that they love them, but they don't trust them. Not even their own family members. What to speak of others? So yes, we can see that this relationship, loving relationship, is only source of happiness in this world. Even in this world, what to speak of transcendental world, which is based on relationships. On relationships. And Caitanya Charitamrita is a, we can say in some way, postgraduate study of Srimad Bhagavatam, is is representing just relationship among devotees and with the Lord. Yes. So we can see how important are loving relationships. And also Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita, after explaining what is beneficial for devotional service and what is not, he immediately explained what kind of relationships we should have among devotees. So, yes. And Sutta Goswami also explains that only ahetuki bhakti, unconditional love, can make us suprasidati. Yes. So, how to achieve this unalloyed devotional service, unconditional devotional service? Because it says it should be apratihata, not interrupted. Because if it is interrupted for 10 minutes, we cannot be happy for 10 minutes. But we want to be all the time suprasidati, not just for some limited time. Isn't it? So, yes. We should strive very hard to achieve this fruit of prima bhakti. So, as explained already, that the process in Kali Yuga is chanting of the holy names. So, actually, the chanting of the holy names is our only hope to achieve this prima bhakti, unalloyed, unconditional love for the Lord. So it's really important to invest our most precious time and really go deep in the relationship with the holy name. Otherwise, we'll just waste our time. The mind is set that if something is repeatedly done, then it switches on the autopilot and we don't go deep anymore. For example, if we are considered a good driver, we can do many things along with driving a car, isn't it? We can see that people eat during driving. Devotees chant japa during driving. And they can also speak on the phone and eat and drive. So, this is not recommended on the path of devotional service, because this is Krishna consciousness movement. It's not just movement for chanting the holy name or just movement for worshipping the Lord. Of course it is, but it's Krishna consciousness movement. It's consciousness that matters. Yes, because the Lord is Saragrahi and it's Bhavagrahi. Sara means the essence. Lord accepts the essence of our heart. Bhava means heart, means the love, means the mood. He accepts this. So, and this is of course the matter of consciousness. So this consciousness is very important. So when we chant the holy name, which is our only hope, as we explained in Kali Yuga, then we should go very deep. If we just if we perform just lip service for the holy name, it will not do the job. Yes, because our bhava will be somewhere else. So when we chant the holy name, It should be very early in the morning, as recommended by Prabhupada many times, in Brahma Muhurta time. And we should only chant. Don't do anything else. That means we should switch off the phone. Because the phone in our modern times is the ultimate distractor. So no sound should come out of the phone. Yes. And we should switch it off and put it in another room. Yes. That we won't be tempted by the phone. Yes, really. And go deep in our chanting. Without our deep chanting, nothing can be achieved. So, by really deep chanting, we can also appreciate Sankirtan, chanting together. And by chanting together, we can also go deeper in our japa. So they're interdependent, we can say. Yes. And only by this process we can go beyond Vaikuntha Vasis. This is the mercy of Lord Caitanya. Not that we can go just to spiritual world. This is also achieved in other yugas and other Kali yugas. But we can go beyond the Vaikuntha Vasis and even beyond Dvaraka Vasis. Not with our qualification, but by the mercy. But we should connect to the mercy. If we don't connect to the mercy, nothing will be achieved automatically. This is my point. Because many times religious people consider that everything will happen automatically, mechanically. For example, I'm coming from Slovenia, which is Catholic country, mostly. And I was also brought up in Christianity. And many people, many Christians believe that although they live ordinary material life, but they believe that they're good people and after death they'll go to heaven. Is it like this also in France?
Yes.
Yes. And so they believe that death itself will bring them some miracle that will completely change their existence, isn't it? And this is common belief that death will bring us some miracle. Even atheists believe that death will bring them miracle, because they believe that I'm existing now, and death with its magic wand will completely change my existence, and I will not exist anymore. This is also belief in some miracle, but death doesn't have the power to make miracles. And it's explained by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad-gita. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavan tyajantyanti kalivaram tantam aveti kanta sadatat bhava bhavita. That whatever state of consciousness one has at the time of death, he will just attain this same state of consciousness. No miracle will happen. Mm-hmm. Yes, no miracle. We'll just continue our state of consciousness. So, if we want to develop love for Lord Krishna and Radha and Krishna, we should develop this love now. Death will not bring us love. There is not described in any shastra that death can give us love. Have you noticed somewhere that death can give us love? No. I don't remember this from shastra. So we should develop love now. We should live in spiritual world now. And if someone wants to go to heaven, he should live in heaven now. He or she should live in heaven now. And if he doesn't want to exist after death, he shouldn't been existing now. Yes. Otherwise, it's just some belief in some miracle at the time of death. Yes. So we shouldn't be naive and believe, because we can, even devotees, we can hear many times, yes, I'm not so fixed up in my devotional service, but Krishna is merciful, and at the time of death I'll go to spiritual world. Have you heard sometimes such thoughts? Hare Krishna. Yes, this is also common belief in miracle of the time of death. But has Krishna just recently become merciful? Or is he eternally merciful? This is my question to you. Eternally merciful, not just recently. So, but why we are here still? Because we have chosen to stay here. We didn't want to develop devotional service to the Lord. The idea of service is something repugnant for the conditional soul. So we prefer to stay here, to exhibit our lordship. So this is the place for exhibiting our lordship or other living entities. And this is also the cause for conflict. That's why it's conflict on every level of existence, because everyone wants to be the Lord in this conditional world, in this material world, and puts himself or herself in the center. But there is no place for two lords. Only one can be the Lord. Immediately when two lords are coming together, there is a conflict for supremacy. Isn't it? So there is fight between husband and wife, fight between children and parents, fight, even if we take a drop of blood from our body and we look it under the microscope, we can see that there is civilizations in war. Some germs want to invade blood, but there is army in the blood which fights against these germs and bacteria and viruses and so on. So yes, there is conflict in every level of existence in material world. So we should accept the fact that we are servants. In fact, Lord Chaitanya taught us not just to be a servant of Krishna, Naham vipranachanara patrin, apivaishana shudro, naham varnina shagriha patrin, no vanastoya tirva, kintu prodan nikila paramananda purnamrita videra, gopi bharatu hupadakamalayor, dasa. That we should aspire to be dasa no dasa, to be the servant of the servant of the servant. This is most glorious position, to be the servant of the servant. And when Lord Chaitanya accepted initiation from Ishvarapuri, although he was notorious before to be a very arrogant scholar who harassed everyone by his questions and defeating them, Then when he returned back to Navadvip, he served every devotee very menially. He washed their clothes and other things also. So we should take example of Lord Chaitanya himself and try to be the servant of the servant of the servant. And only by this mentality we can focus on the holy name. As Lord Chaitanya himself explained, Trinada Pisunichana, Tururivasa Vishnu, Amarina Manadina, Kirtanya Sadahari. Only by humility we can purchase the Lord's heart. We can see from Chaitanya Charitamrita when Rupa and Sanatan approached the Lord for the first time, they were so humble that it created pain in the heart of Lord Chaitanya. He said, "Please don't be so humble. I'm suffering because of your humbleness." They explained that we are worse than Jaga and Madai. Because Jaga and Madai, they were a little bit sinful, but they didn't serve any demon. But we are serving the demon. Yes, the Yavana king. So the Jagan and Madai were Brahmanas, and for the Brahmanas, they shouldn't be engaged in the service of others. We should know from Shastra. But we are servants, but not just servants of some pious people, but the servants of most degraded people, of cow eaters. So we are worse than Jaga and Madai. And we try to reach your mercy, and it's the same as dwarf would catch the moon. It's impossible for us. So, yes, we should be more humble than the blade of grass. Yeah. How it's possible to be more humble than the blade of grass? Have any idea? Praying. But how can anyone be more humble than a blade of grass? Everyone steps on the blade of grass and doesn't complain.
Always serve, even always be in the mood of service, even when there is difficulty. Someone is eating us, we continue to serve. Like the place, someone eat on, walk on it, and he go up after.
Nice thought. Actually, the blade of grass is also fighting for existence. Once, when I was in primary school, they show us some film, a movie. I think it was some documentary film, and it was a springtime, and there was a meadow, very nice meadow. The birds were chirping, the sun was shining, everything was very nice. But then this camera zoomed into the grass, and there was a terrible fight. It was a bloodshed, actually. Some ant was attacking some other insect there. Some grasses were fighting against other grasses, and so terrible fight in this idyllic meadow. So grass is also fighting for its existence, actually for material existence. So we shouldn't fight for our material existence. So in this way, we can be more humble than the blade of grass. Yes. So and more tolerant than a tree, or as tolerant as a tree. So that can save our life if we are tolerant and humble. And amanina, we shouldn't demand respect from others. We may think that we don't demand respect, but if we would be neglected by others, that no one would notice that we exist, we would feel offended, wouldn't we? If we say something to someone and he behaves or she behaves that we don't exist, we would be naturally offended. So this is the tendency to be worshipped, actually. So we want to be in the position of the Lord. Yes. Therefore, Krishna explains in the beginning, in the beginning of 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the symptoms of knowledge. Amanitvam, adambitvam. These two things, that to be humble and to be free from pride, are the two first symptoms of knowledge. Yes. So it's really important to transcend this tendency to be the Lord of everyone. That means to be humble and tolerant, don't demand respect for ourselves, but we should be respectful for everyone. And only in this state of consciousness we can really go deep in the chanting of the holy names. And only if we go deep in the chanting of the holy names, we can develop a Hetuki Bhakti. And only by a Hetuki Bhakti we can become Suprasidati. What we are looking for from time immemorial. Hare Krishna. Do you have any questions or comments? Yes, please.
So if we are in an environment where we are neglected or if we are not respected, then should we take that as a mercy?
Yes.
That's what you want to hear early in the morning?
Yes, this is very important to understand. Of course, if we are not on this level, then it may be harmful for us to just swallow up these insults, as we can say, because we won't develop deep relationship with Krishna by this if we keep grudges in our heart. You understand what I mean? If we keep grudges, that will destroy our bhakti, because we then will commit offenses to others. Even if we don't voice them, we'll commit them in our heart, and we'll disrespect devotees, and actually we'll develop hate for devotees. And we should have love for the devotees, not hate. Even if we don't voice this hate or exhibit this hate, we'll keep it in our heart, and our heart will be destroyed from within. So we should cultivate this consciousness. Tattenu kampansu samikshamano punjana yuvatma kritam vipakam hritvakva purbirvidadanam asti jivetayo mukti pade sadaya bhak. That we see everything, every reverse in our life and every difficulty in our life as Krishna's mercy. As Krishna's mercy. This should be our sadhana, to see in this way. Yes. But as long as we are not as advanced, we should try to talk to people, that we sort out everything which is not good from a material point of view. But we should cultivate this idea that everything is perfect. Many times Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that if we think that anything is not perfect in this world, that means that we are not perfect. Because everything is perfect. Everything is Lord's arrangement. And everything is perfect and complete, as explained in Ishopanishad, the beginning of Ishopanishad. Yes. So, whatever we receive in our devotional service, even disrespect or neglect or offenses to ourselves, we should understand that is Lord's merciful hand that help us to transcend our difficulties to surrender. As Queen Kunti prayed that, Lord, please bring me miseries, more and more miseries, because when the miseries come, I can connect with you, I can see you, and if I see you, no miseries can come again. So yes, we should see these miseries as Lord's mercy, to deepen our surrender to Him. Because if everything is okay in our life, then we'll think, yes, we are the Lord. Everything is perfect, it just suits my purposes, suits my desires. And this is the danger, for example, of heavenly existence. Because they enjoy all the time, why should they surrender to Krishna? But when Krishna sends us miseries, for devotees it's natural to take shelter of Krishna. Materialists just become depressed or angry or both. But devotee naturally takes shelter of Krishna. So we should take these experiences in our life as Krishna's special attention to me. Yes. Loving hand. Or if we are more inclined to Madhurya Rasa, we can accept it as bite of our lover. Because bite itself can be painful, but if it is a bite of our lover, it is painful a little bit, but brings us enjoyment, brings us happiness. Yes. So we should accept it as Krishna's special attention for us. Hare Krishna. Is it okay? Anything else?
Yeah, Krishna is so merciful. He knows every one of us perfectly more than us, and He gives everyone, each of us, what we need.
Yes.
To become closer to Him, to know Him, to love Him. He knows perfectly our karma, our previous lives, what is good for every one of us. So He makes a perfect arrangement so we can
Yes.
to Him and surrender to Him and realize it.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's true. It's true. We have so many material desires in our heart. Who can count them? But we said that we should practice pure devotional service. And this is anya bilashita shunyam. To be without tendency to desire anything else. Yes. So, this is Krishna's help, how to get rid of these other desires. And he explains that if someone is too foolish to give up other desires, he will help him and take everything away. Yes, and this is most dreaded verse for many devotees. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande.